Welcome to another meal prep video. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. Usually I show you my face, but I totally forgot to film an intro for this video, so you don't get to see my face till the very end. Super exciting. Definitely stick around for that at the very end. It's Saturday and I'm starting off the weekend meal prep with some spaghetti sauce. We're actually not eating this on this night, we're eating it tomorrow night, but I wanted to lighten my load for tomorrow, so I went ahead and made it. The secret to this sauce is to take and pretty much make your own marinara, but to supplement in a really good jar of pre-made marinara sauce. So we use Rao's. We love Rao's so much that when we've dumped the marinara sauce out, we'll go back in and we'll add some chicken stock or water and shake it up just to get all the rest of that goodness. I don't even really measure anymore when I make this. This is a Pioneer Woman recipe. It's just so delicious and it tastes so good the longer it sits. So the next day, Sunday, I am starting to get our chicken dishes ready. For lunch this week, we had orange chicken, and then we also had another chicken dish for dinner. We had Caesar chicken. So here I'm just prepping the chicken for the orange chicken and the Caesar chicken. I'm just going to take these boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and I'm just going to cut them into chunks. What we do, if you are new here, is that I cook all of our food on Saturday and Sunday, and we probably eat 90% of our food from home. So Bryson and I, my husband, we both work in the office during the week, and we work all the way across the city, and so it takes us about an hour and a half to get home after picking up the kids, and cooking dinner is just really not feasible. We have 3 kids, 3 and under, and things are chaotic and beautiful, and I just really cannot cook dinner and all of us eat in a decent time. So what I just like to do is I like to go ahead and prep all of our food during the weekend. If I have a really heavy day, I'll use Friday and Saturday to prep, but the majority of my prep happens on Sunday when we get back from work. We both work for a local church, so we are Sunday through Thursday employees. Now, I've already cut up the chicken for the orange chicken. I've just set that aside. And now I am working on pounding out some chicken breasts for the Caesar chicken. Listen, if you do not have a lot of time and you don't feel like you're super equipped in the kitchen, this is a fantastic dish for that. This dish is like 3 ingredients. You don't really have to make anything. If you don't want to worry about pounding out or cutting out chicken breasts, you can buy cutlets or chicken tenders from not actual fried chicken tenders, but like the chicken tender cut from the poultry department, and it's so good. I prefer to pound it out. Also, we just buy all of our chicken from Costco, so this is just what we have. The cuts of meat that are pre-pound or pre-sliced out for you are usually more expensive, so that's just not really something in our budget, so I just make do with what I can. So for this dish, you want to take a glass baking dish and go ahead and put some oil spray in it, and then you just pound the crap out of those chicken breasts if that is what you are deciding to do. I always find I have a hard time getting it fully even, but the saran wrap is really helpful for keeping all the chicken juices from flying all over your kitchen. I'm not scared of many things, but as a microbiologist who worked in infectious disease, salmonella, not something I'm going to mess with, so I usually cover my chicken when I pound it. And so here I'm just laying those chicken breasts out in that glass baking dish, and for some reason I have to touch everything. You can see in this moment I'm like, where do I put this? Typically if there's things already in the dishwasher, I won't put anything that's touched raw chicken into the sink. I think I said dishwasher, but I mean sink. So I'm just topping this with a little bit of seasoning, super simple, just pepper and some salt. I love this salt cellar. I think it's from Marshall's, so nobody else will ever be able to find it because that's how it works. And now I'm just dumping on a jar of Caesar dressing, and this one gives me some trouble. You can see I just have to give it a good shake and finally get a spoon out. I give up and go get a tool. So you'll just dump all the Caesar dressing on top of this, and you can make this with more chicken and just spread the same amount of Caesar dressing over the chicken, just have a thinner layer. But I'm just spreading that all out over the top. The recipe does call for, and honestly I should have done this, putting half of the jar in the bottom of the dish and then putting the chicken on top of it, but honestly I had forgotten. I've made this enough times that I just It's another one of those dishes I just throw together. So we're gonna pop it in, and then we'll come back and top it with cheese and finish it off, but it bakes first before you add the cheese. So now I'm just working on the orange chicken. This is an Amanda Fredrickson recipe. She does this awesome thing called fridge foraging, if you haven't heard of her. And so this is kind of another riff on one of her recipes. I go ahead and I always, when I have chicken breast that I'm going to cook up Asian style, I always put a little bit of soy sauce on it. You could also add some cornstarch in there just to kind of help the chicken become softer. It won't be so tough and dried out. So here I've just pulled that Caesar chicken out of the oven. It's not ready, it's not done, so we're going to top it with some Parmesan cheese. And then we're going to pop it back under the broiler set for high, and I usually let it go for about 5 minutes. And pray to the Lord that I remember to turn on the timer for the broiler every time. So popping that back in, and it will let off a decent amount of oil just because that's how Parmesan cheese and Caesar dressing work. But don't be alarmed, it's delicious. You can just mix it right back in. So unfortunately on this day I had tried to keep my broccoli from going moldy. Sometimes I buy produce at Costco and it just deteriorates really fast. We don't have great produce at our Costco. So I picked through a lot of that broccoli. I topped it with some oil, and now I'm just throwing on our favorite veggie seasoning, which is Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. It's so good. But unfortunately the rest of that broccoli was just too moldy for me to risk eating. Here's that Caesar chicken. You can kind of see where that oil is, like I was saying, but it'll mix right back in with the dressing. So it's all good to go. I'm just going to let it cool on the counter, and I'm actually going to go ahead and start my orange chicken. So I always love using this avocado spray, but it gives me such trouble. It doesn't fan out the way that the Pam does. So while this chicken is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the sauce. And I always like to move the chicken around so that it's all flat on the pan and everything is touching as best as possible. And then I just move on for a little bit and let that get nice and brown on one side. So the dressing is honey. The sauce is honey. You could definitely use less honey. I would probably use less honey. I just kind of go back and forth. And then some soy sauce. Some vinegar. This is just unseasoned rice vinegar. And then I'm just setting that off to the side because I'm going to work on the orange next. And Amanda Fredrickson's recipe does not call for orange zest, but orange zest makes such a difference in flavor. So genuinely. It can elevate any dish more than just orange juice. So I'm just going ahead and zesting this whole orange, and I'm going to throw that zest right in with the sauce. And then from there, I'm going to cut the orange open, but I'm going to leave it off to the side, and I'll add it directly into the pan when it's time. So I'm also just grating up some garlic. If I'm feeling real lazy, I will not cut up garlic. I will just grate it and then throw that into the sauce or into the pan or whatever. And it's honestly probably just as much work as chopping it, but then your hands, I don't know. I just prefer it sometimes. And it makes it just almost melt into the sauce better than chunks of garlic. So the chicken is done, so I'm pulling all the chicken out, and I'm going ahead and I'm letting the ginger and the garlic in this recipe saute for a minute because it really helps those spices bloom and gives them a much better flavor. And then I'm just pouring in all of the sauce, really making sure to scrape out all of that honey. I love this spatula. It's one of my favorites. It's from Williams-Sonoma, and it has a divot kind of in the middle. It's not just an all flat spatula, so it's really good at scooping things out. And then now I'm just adding in that orange juice directly in. You won't see this on here, but sometimes I'll add in little pieces of the orange. And then while that sauce reduces down, and I let it reduce for a long time, so it gets really good and thick and it cooks off a lot of that extra watery liquid, I'm just cleaning up and stuff like that. So I've changed here because we ate dinner and I let everything kind of cool down, and now I'm just prepping Bryson and I's lunches. We don't get a lot out of this, but it's so worth it. So it's just some brown rice, which I made in the Instant Pot, the orange chicken, and I'm topping it with some green onions for color and flavor. Okay, final product. Got some rice over here cooling, which will go with the Caesar chicken. Four of the orange chickens, some roasted broccoli, which will go with the Caesar chicken, a big old thing of pasta sauce. I've got some pasta noodles cooking over there, or made over there, and then the Caesar chicken. So this will get us through lunch and dinners for the upcoming week, and then we do also have some barbecue chicken and baked potatoes from yesterday in the fridge. All right, y'all, that is gonna be it. The sun is like streaming in. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Anyways, that is gonna be it for this week's meal prep. Thank you so much for being here. Everything we got done today, we made Caesar chicken, spaghetti sauce, orange chicken, and some veggies. I feel great about it. Super easy day, especially compared to last week's. If you missed that one, be sure to go check that one out. It's a doozy. So much got done that day. But until then, if you like content like this, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me, and it really helps my family, and it helps me know what you want to see. So until then, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.